How you going, people? Hell, I ain't done a crazy cop story in a while. People have been asking this noise you're going to hear, all these little locusts. They go, what makes that? It's one of these little guys. He's a locust. I think Smokey caught him. They got big. Smokey just rubbed on the on the camera thing. So that's what I think they call them. Some people might call them sequoias or whatever. I call them locusts. Smokey, what are you doing? Come here and say hi to you twoies and quit being down there. Quit being down there shaking that camera. You're going to get a big spanking. We cannot be shaking that camera no more. You're going to be in big trouble, mister. Big trouble. Alright, let's do a crazy cop story. Yay! Yay! Say hi to you twoies. Hi, you twoies. It's like stupid YouTube people making these. He's a good boy. Alright, so it's kind of shady right here inside. Hi, I know, he's a good boy. So, I got a couple crazy cop stories that I've been meaning to tell and I haven't had a chance to do it, but I was like, before I forget them, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Should I do the one where the cops pay off the guy that gets shot? Or what was the other one? Oh, the cop that was picking up hookers in his police car. Alright, we'll do the police car with the hookers. And the next one will be they paid off a guy that got shot by accident. Hi, Monkey! This crazy cat's rolling around on my feet. Alright, so which one did I say I was going to do? Shit, I can't. Smokey's distracting me, rubbing on my feet. Oh, the cop and the hookers. Alright, so I don't want to tell you. Hi, buddy! Buddy heard me talking. Hi, buddy! So, I don't want to dime out this agency because I actually kind of like the agency. It's a pretty good agency. So I don't really want to dog them out. And of course, the public will never understand or know this. Now, I personally think this cop should have been fired, but they cut him some break. So, let's, now I got my singing horses bugging me. You guys can't wonder. I come out here and all my damn critters want me to feed them. What are you doing, boy? Hi, Letter T! It's like, shut up, stupid human. Feed us. I should have put some hay out there and just let them talk in the background, but that was in the sun over there. I got Smokey's head down here. I can't get out. People are like, tell the crazy cop story. Quit talking about your animals. Oh, be quiet. Smokey, quit hitting that. He's headbutting. I'm going to beat him like a redheaded stepchild. Knock it off. You're moving the camera. You're going to be in big trouble. Alright, let's try this again. So, I'll put a little message in here on where to fast forward for the, to get to the stupid story. So, and that's not me moving that camera, that's that damn cat. So don't give me any smack. The camera was moving, we couldn't. Shut up! Listen to the damn story. Alright, so, I know everybody thinks there's a big blue line and cops are always protecting cops and, you know, we're not going to tell the truth, but in this case, this guy's a sergeant, and he's in charge of a task force or like gang unit. It might have been a gang unit. So, because actually I think it was the vice unit, not the gang unit, because he was actually going out with his team and arresting bees. I think 647B is prostitution. He was arresting prostitutes and johns and doing the stings for prostitution. And he was a sergeant in charge of this team. So, because he was in charge of that team, he had access to information like who the hookers were, who the johns were. He got to interview people. When they arrested people, you would interview them and say, where else have you paid for sex? Is there any other hookers? Will you cooperate? Would you be willing? Blah, blah, blah. Can we cut you? So we do intel gathering when we do these. So he had access to what I call kind of, not classified, but job-specific information that he shouldn't be using for his own benefit. But he did. So what this guy does is, since he knows all the hookers and everybody in his area, and he's a sergeant in this area, he somehow figured out in another jurisdiction that there were hookers. So he ends up hooking up, and I can't remember if it was on Craigslist or some other way. What's that? Just keep telling. Look, I can't. I'm trying to. Shut up! Let me get to my story. So anyway, he goes to this other jurisdiction in his police car with his gun and badge, hooks up with a hooker, and is going to do what Johns and hookers do. I can't be too specific on YouTube because it might hurt some snowflakes' feeling. They'll start crying snowflakes, melted snowflakes, and then my video will get blocked. So he goes to do hooker things with a hooker. Like a hooker on nickel night. Anyway, so when he gets there, guess what? The cops in that, there's that damn light again. What the hell is it doing flashing? It's got a red light. I hope that's not like my battery going low. Hang on, let me check my battery. Oh, battery looks good. This damn video's got more eruptions than damn Chinese phone book got chins. Oh shit! Now my video's gonna be blocked. Anyway, so what happens when he gets there to meet his hooker friend? That agency with their team is doing a sting, and they bust him. And he's in his police car with his police badge and his police gun, and he's gonna meet a hooker. So this is one, and I don't know if they arrested him, if they turned him back. I don't know how that went. I know everybody's gonna be here. He should have been arrested just like, yeah, he probably should have, but I don't know. I'm just telling you. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the agency knew about it regardless. Sometimes on things like this, because we're not talking about a felony, robbery, something real serious, kind of like you're going to get a hooker, sometimes agency will let the agency handle it internally to spare the department embarrassment and to keep harmonious government bonding between law enforcement agencies. I know people are going to say, that's the blue line, it's unethical, they took an oath, how could you? Whatever. Goes on in every organization. Get over it. So, I don't know how it was handled, but I know the agency was going to take care of the agency part. I don't know about the criminal part, etc. So, a lot of times government employees, especially quota hires, feel an entitlement to their job and that no matter what they do, they can't be fired, and you know what? Big deal. They'll give me a couple days on the beach, I'll take some vacation, whatever. So this agency, which I thought was pretty freaking good, came back and said, hey, we're going to move you out of that task force position, which is a very luxury, sought-after position. And this guy had been there for a while, so he didn't want to give it up. We're going to move you out of your cush job, and we're going to move you back into the jail, and you're going to have to stay in the jail for 5 years. We're going to let you keep your stripes. We're going to let you stay a sergeant. We're going to let you keep your job, but you're going to work in a jail. And a lot of agencies do that. Sheriff's agencies, that when they put you in a jail, it becomes punishment. It's supposed to be a training and it's supposed to be a position, but it's not. When I was in the Air Force, midnight shift was a punishment. If they didn't like you or you pissed somebody off, they would send you to midnight shift because they know it messes with your sleeping and you can't have really good days off and you're working at night, you sleep all during the day, and when you get off on your first day off, you sleep, and then on your last day off, you can't do anything because you know you got to work all night. So it really messes up your schedule, so it becomes a punishment to work midnight shift. Well, in agencies that have a jail, it becomes punishment if we send you back to the jail. So their punishment was, we're going to take you out of your cush job and we're going to send you back to the jail for 5 years, but you're going to keep your job, keep your sergeant stripes, you know, not get any days on the beat. I thought that was a hell of a deal. I was like, dude, that guy should have been kissing their butt saying, thank you, I appreciate it. Because to me, should have been fired. I mean, there's so many things that he should have been fired. The sergeant said, hell no, you ain't taking me out of my position. I'm fighting this. This is bullshit. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Guess what? The next day, the sheriff came back to him and said, you know what? When we offered you that other deal and gave you that paperwork, we didn't mean to do that. We gave you the wrong paperwork. Here's the right paperwork. you're fired. So the sergeant ended up getting fired. Now, there'll be some people that'll say that's BS because he should have been fired and they cut a deal and the only reason they didn't do it is because he didn't cooperate. Look, I'm not arguing who's right and wrong and how all this worked out. I'm just saying I think the guy probably should have been fired. He abused his position. He used sensitive information. He was able to run people and check them. And because he was working at hookers, if he ran other hookers in other area, it didn't put any flags. I don't know how deep the investigation went or how much time he used, but he used his car and he used his gun as badge, and I think he used information he knew to do this. I think he should have been fired. He ended up getting fired, but the agency was going to, what some would say, cover it up. I would say kind of protect their own, do them a solid, they like him. That's the problem with government power, is when all these laws, everybody's all, we need more laws, we need more protections, we need more signs, we need more gun control, we need more government. When you do all that, you give government the power to pick and choose when they want to enforce it and when they want to look the other way. And we have all these liberals in the FBI right now, and when it came to Trump, they targeted him. And when it came to Hillary, they looked the other way. And that's why anytime you give government power, people think it sounds good and they sell it to the people because it sounds like a good idea, but it's never a good idea. Government will always abuse power because government is run by people and people have agendas and biases, etc. The people have to control government, and you can't give them choices to make that will be against the public's interests. And government will always take government interests and their individual wants and needs over the public's interests. That's why it's never a good idea to give government power over you. It's never a good idea to give up your guns expecting government to protect you, because government gets to choose when and how they protect you. And they always say, oh, sorry, you didn't pass the last tax, so we have to cut services. And where do the services cut? We're going to cut police and fire. And that way, you'll feel the pain, and next time we ask for more taxes and more government, you'll be more willing to say yes. So they punish you for voting against government. They can only do that if we continue to give government power and control. So that's my crazy cop story. Unfortunately, things like that happen. Smokey's over there. Mokey Moke! You leave those locusts alone. I don't need any more dead locusts or mice. You being a bad kitty, killing everything in sight. Damn liberals will be over here protesting and stuff, calling you some sort of hunter. Buddy, you're a good boy. I got them a watermelon. I don't know if it's not hot enough today to give it to them. I think it's only like 90 out here. I'm waiting for a good 100 day, and then they'll get their little watermelon. So anyway, in that there with the crazy cop story.